Wild 94.1, man. Ready, Set Radio. Probably the most played artist in the last year. So one of the top 3 or 4 most played artists that we play on the show here. We got young Gerald, G-Eazy, in studio right now with us.
Yeah.
Man, look, I'm so excited for this new album, bro. When it's dark out, I first need to step out and say Random is
Thank
that
you,
joint.
bro.
You got to shoot a video for that one.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I appreciate you saying that, man. That was one of my favorites, you know what I mean, throughout the process of putting this album together. Something about it just jumped out at me instantly. You know?
What do you think the creative process was? Did you feel like this album, I feel like you kind of had a chip on your shoulder after the first album.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like you recorded this album with a chip on your shoulder.
Yeah, no, like, I mean, it's kind of like a statement album, you know what I mean? And that song is like, that's track 2 on the album. That comes right after the intro, and it lets them know off the bat, like, this is no coincidence. I didn't land here by accident. This didn't just fall out of the sky.
100%.
Like, you know, it's not random.
It's not right.
This is a product of over 11 years of, you know,
I was going to say, you've been doing it for a long time.
Out.
I want to ask you about this guy right here. Hold on. We're about to pull out that.
Oh, my God. Oh, no. That's the blackmail photo. That's the young Gerald, the young Gerald.
Yo, so yeah, that's 09, bro. Like,
wow, man.
That's 09.
But that's just to say, man, is this grind is not an overnight thing,
that looks like a kid
thing,
from the Bay
man.
Area in 09.
Yeah, with the goggles with the no lenses.
100%.
But and the loud colors.
When you decided to start getting into this music thing, obviously, what were some of the real early, like, what did this guy have to, like, really overcome coming out of the Bay?
That's not even, if
you
would have
seen... You were in New Orleans, right?
Yeah, I was in New Orleans around that time, but if you would have seen the young Gerald in the Bay Area with the size 36 Jabos and the, you know, 3-4X tall tees, with the you have the other color tall tee underneath it, so you'll have the collar and the bottom popping out. Yeah, matched with the fat laces and the Air Force Ones and the headband to match. That's and crazy. The throwback jerseys. I mean, but you know. It's because
there's always a point in time, I feel like, where like every artist who's been grinding, because a lot of people might think you're overnight success, like you just popped up. Yeah. But I feel like there's always a point in every artist like career where they get to a point where it's like, yo, man, I just need to get a job.
Yeah, straight up.
Like did you ever have to cross that bridge?
Yeah. And that's about the time it worked.
Right.
You know what I mean? Straight up. It was like, I always use the analogy of like a plane being on a runway. You know what I mean? You literally have X amount of time, and if you don't get your wheels off the ground, you're falling in the water.
100%.
Crashing and dying or whatever. Because it to me, there was never like a whole like plan B or fallback or whatever. It didn't exist. I wouldn't let that happen because there was nothing else. You know what I mean? Like, life is short, bro, and you got to do something that you love. So it was like, I'm going to figure a way to make this work.
And your mom, I mean, like the voicemail that's on the album from your mom. Your mom was a big supporter, obviously.
Yeah.
Yep. But I mean, like, I know my parents, they would let me do whatever. If I wanted to go grow weed for a living, they would.
Yeah, straight up. My mom grows weed.
Oh, shout out to your mom.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, that's what I was going to ask.
I found it when I was young in the basement. I'm like, Moms, what are these plants?
Was there ever a point where your parents were like, hey, Gerald, like, you know, I know you want to do this, but, you know, UPS is hiring.
Straight up, UPS is hiring. I mean, yeah. Nah, I mean, because I want to say, like, she's been in my corner since I was like 13 or 14. She's an artist, so she saw like the creative drive, you know. But she didn't always get it, but she was like, you know, him and his friends are inside doing something creative instead of being outside doing something bad.
100%.
And it was kind of our way of staying out of trouble is you know, putting our energy towards something creative. But you know, at a point, she was just like, you know, what are you gonna do? You know, because I don't come from no like, I can't just go back home and just live, you know what I mean, just live in a, you know what I mean, like big nice house off a trust fund or something like that. She's like, you know, she had just moved back in with my grandma. Like, she's like, there's nowhere for you to go. Like, what are you gonna do? You got to get it popping. And that kind of like, I feel like when your back's against the wall is when
that's when shit happens.
Yeah.
100%.
So. You know, that was that, and we kind of got a first break going with this mixtape I did called The Endless Summer, and this would have been like 4 years ago, something like that, and that got me booked on a tour, and that led to another tour, and that led to an album that I self-released, and that brought in enough, you know what I mean, iTunes money to keep the rent paid at least.
And I feel like with everything that comes with G-Eazy, there's a feel to it. You do everything on purpose, whether it's aesthetically. We always talk about how I really respect the fact when you send out merch, there's a certain way the tissue papers are.
Yeah.
But
man,
I'm saying, like,
tissue better be right.
Like, what inspired that? Like, because I feel like that's something like you and the homies got to sit down and be like, look, man, we got to make sure we're all on the same page.
Straight up,
like, if we're out here moving around, we're on this fly all black.
It's all a vibe. It's all a, you know what I mean? Like, it's how your company, you know what I mean, like, moves. you know, you're a team,
100%.
straight up. And it's like you all represent the team, the brand, the name, you know what I mean? Like whenever you go anywhere. So it's like you all got to act accordingly. You all got to represent something and stand for something. Honestly, what's crazy is, man, I'm not like a reader like that, but I read the Steve Jobs book, and that damn near changed my life. I was like, this, you know what I mean? This book is just, hell
I heard you compare that like you want to be like the Apple of hip hop.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Steve Jobs is a G, straight up. Yeah, every little detail matters, man, and I'm that meticulous with the music. Especially being like, I come from a production, like I started making beats like before I started rapping. So
what did you make beats on back then? Fruity Loops?
Reason.
Yeah,
okay. Reason. I'm an Apple guy, man. Yeah. But yeah, so now even I don't necessarily like make beats that much hands on, you know, as much as I used to.
In the room,
but now I'm in a room like getting my ditty on, but I'm really like, you know what I mean? When I talk to producers, I'm really like, because I know the vocabulary and the, you know what I mean? The,
you're not just like getting a folder of beats and then just rapping on it.
Nah, man, I got to get my hands dirty.
100%. That's dope.
Yeah.
The new album, are the features out there yet? I know who's on the album. But,
yeah.
Okay, so I know E40's on the album,
E40
right?
is on the album. Short is on the album. Keisha Cole.
Keisha Cole.
Keisha Cole is on my album.
Oakland OG right there.
Yeah, that's East Oakland's finest.
You got to get Kehlani on the album.
Kehlani is on my album. Yeah. This kid Marky Basie,
who's from
is
the
also
Bay
from the Bay.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's killing it.
With him.
Who else is on my album? Big Sean.
Okay.
Big Sean is on my album. Who else? Chris Brown is on my album.
Chris Breezy's on the album?
Yeah, you feel me? You got what I mean? So that's a dream come true, man. That's pretty crazy.
When you get someone like Big Sean, because I feel like Big Sean is opportunistic when it comes to sliding in those features, and like he does a good job at like standing out on other people's songs.
Yeah, but I'm a rap. Like I got some respect for myself. You're not gonna murder me like everybody else.
Like, do you send it with your verse on it, or do you just send it?
Absolutely. And I didn't, you know, it wasn't like let me go recut my verse or anything like that. But he did his thing. He killed it. He blessed me with the verse. You know what I mean? It was perfect. I mean, it just worked out right on time. Like I had cut the record in Atlanta. And the night we did it, like we were like, yo, you know who you need to get on here is Sean would kill it. You know, so I just texted him.
That's dope.
You know, he showed love and he knocked it out.
In music, I know there's always a ton of acquaintances, right? So like you are acquainted with a ton of people that you mess with, that you you know what I mean? You'll see somebody, you're in the same city, you're on the same show with them, but there's not a lot of friends outside of the Bay Area, because we all know you and
Kehlani.
The
Bay is very, 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 very connected, man.
And right now, like I really think the Bay's, I would even argue that it's in a better position than when the hyphy movement got started, because just
crazy.
The amount of young talent and how like Kehlani could be like the biggest.
Kehlani could be the biggest thing in the world,
like straight up, 100%.
Yeah.
And she's on her way.
She's definitely on her way. It's beautiful.
But who outside of the Bay Area would you consider like an actual friend in the music industry?
Rocky,
ASAP,
Rocky and Ferg. Yeah, those are two real good people that I've known for a while.
Is the Ferg? Can we talk about Ferg and what you guys got going on later, or no?
Oh, I don't know, something. Yeah, we're cooking up something real epic.
Okay, yeah. Be on the lookout.
Yeah,
There's
be on the
some
lookout,
G-Eazy
man.
Ferg business happening real soon.
Yeah.
And another thing I wanted to ask you, the video that came out for Me, Myself, and I. Yeah. You obviously it shows that you have a lot of sides.
Yeah.
And I'm a radio DJ, bro, and I get turned and burnt, and I'm just like, God, I just want to take a vacation.
Yo, bro, but it's crazy. It's like in this line of work, our job is kind of based around the turn up.
It is. Like I have to go. I go like I have to go to the nightclub no matter what.
Right.
That's how I feed my baby. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you got to go get that brown bag
It's
at
a
the
tough
nightclub.
job. It's a tough job, but I got to go get that bag. So, I guess I'll go. Yeah, okay. And it's like you're not gonna go and then not drink.
100%.
All the time I wake up feeling like trash, and I'm like, yo, like tonight, I swear, I'm gonna have them sneak apple juice into the club and pour it in my whiskey glass. So I'm sitting there looking like I'm turning. You know what I mean? I got my glass of whiskey, but I'm really drinking apple juice.
That's never happened.
It's never happened, man.
Of course not.
It always is a nice thought, but it never happens.
And there's also nice thoughts there as well.
There are nice thoughts, so you gotta die.
Oh, coming up, I know that you're like a big hip hop dude, like as far as like the music you listen to outside of the Bay Area. I heard you say like you're a big Jadakiss fan.
Yeah.
Nas,
I'm excited
like
for his new album.
Yeah, Top 5 Dead or Alive is gonna be fire. Like the whole
Top 5 Dead or Alive, and that's just off one LP.
100%. I'm curious, what are some of your favorite albums? Like if you had
albums.
If you had to go on an island with 5 albums.
Midnight Marauders.
Okay, Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah,
I just
big Tribe Called Quest fan.
Oh, Tribe's dude.
Yeah.
Their influence on the game is like could never even be like
straight up
measured.
Yeah. Midnight Marauders, 2001.
Okay.
Dre.
Perfect album.
Perfect.
Yeah, like
another perfect album, Illmatic.
100%.
My favorite Jay-Z album is the Black Album.
Okay.
It's kind of like it's my generation. You know what I mean?
I agree. Yeah,
I was in high school when that came out. That was a real big album.
Yeah, I mean,
for
obviously, like for me, I think you and I are close in age. Like I had to go back and get Reasonable Doubt because when Reasonable Doubt was popping, like I was like
we were too young.
Or something.
Yeah.
Like, so like.
So we had to go back and study that.
Of course.
So yeah, the Black Album. Wow, and to pick a fifth, that'd be tough.
It'd be tough.
That'd be really tough.
What about if you had to pick one album out of the Bay?
Yeah, My Ghetto Report Card.
Whew. Classic E40.
Super classic. I mean, that came right on time.
I think that what's crazy about 40 is like here specifically in Florida, like people who I work with, they don't care about E40. They're like, they don't understand like how that dude is first of all, how incredible he is as a rapper.
Right.
And how he's like really influenced hip hop.
Absolutely.
When it comes to the independent stuff, when it comes
to the independent hustle, to the slang.
Everything.
You know what I mean? Like just being a leader incredible. Culturally.
100%.
You know what I mean? Being like an ambassador of, you know what I mean, of your region, putting your region on his back. You know what I mean? Like and just being not afraid to be different. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah, he's one of the most original artists.
He's the most original, period. And one of the longest lasting. I mean think about it. You know what I mean? He's had over a 25-year run, and Choices was a smash this year.
Which is crazy.
Crazy. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's just, it goes to show longevity is.
Have you partied with Too Short yet? Because as a kid, my cousins only listened to Too Short. So Too Short has always been one of my favorite rappers.
Man, I'm trying to think if we ever really partied like at a club.
Like I saw Too Short and Sugar Free in Vegas once, and I was like, this is exactly how I pictured it. Sugar Free's got two girls on leashes walking behind him. And Too Short's got like 6 Asian chicks. And they're just, I'm just like, yep.
Yeah. Now I love that when you meet people and it's like, especially people you idolize and look up to, and your heroes are truly your heroes. They're not like a, you know what I mean, a shell of them, or like, you know what I mean, it's all an act. Like they truly are who you think they would be.
Have you had any, you say Illmatic's one of your favorite albums. Have you chopped it up with Nas at all? Have you?
I've not, man. I'll probably just faint when I meet Nas.
Right. It's funny. The first time I only have interviewed Nas one time, and it was my first real big interview. Yeah. And I brought in a whole box of stuff for him to sign. I was I was that dude.
Nah, Nas is damn near it, man.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I know you met Hove. What was that interaction like?
Same. I mean, like I was in shock, but at the same time, I was just like, I was so inspired and so excited, like, cause it was like once I looked him in his eye and shook his hands, you know what I mean? I was like,
yo, this is crazy.
This is crazy. Like, this is happening right now, but I'm not finna shy from the moment. I'm finna have this, you know what I mean? Like, chilling, have this conversation with Hov and, like, tell my grandkids about it. And I'll never have kids, but in the sense of, like, you know what I mean?
Talk about you partying in Vegas with Diddy.
Tell someone else's grandkids about it.
I heard that was a great night.
Yeah. Same kind of thing. Like, you meet a hero, and they're exactly as heroic as you would think, especially in the world of partying. Yeah. We went to a strip club, man, and just.
Which was it? Spearmint Rhino or was it Sapphires? It had to have been one of those two.
Yeah, I think it was Rhino.
Yeah, Rhino's the spot.
Super the spot, man.
You get some good hot wings and.
Yo, I think I walked out at like 8 a.m.
Yep, that sounds about right, man.
Yeah, sun just fully up.
Well, yo, the album's coming out December 4th. Finally, is here. I mean, I don't want to say finally because it's not like you didn't. You know, you've come year after year.
Nah, but you know, I mean, this is a big moment, man. It's been a long time coming.
And you've held over your fans with a lot of music on SoundCloud.
Yeah. But at the same time, man, it's like if you imagine the process as a creative, like you make a song in the studio. So I started recording March 1st.
Okay.
I got back from the 2 U.S. tours, then the Australia tour. I got back to the States.
Forever.
Right. I got back to the States March 1st, and I went to Atlanta to start recording.
Tree
you
Sound?
Know what I mean? Silent Sound. Okay. Yeah. And I spent, you know what I mean, a couple weeks in Atlanta and made, you know what I mean, like a bunch of songs there. So imagine you create this song the night of March 1st. That might have been the night I did Random.
Oh, word.
Yeah, it was like instantly the first week I got to Atlanta, one of the first ones I did. And you're like, yo, this is crazy. You're listening to it in the whip on the way home at like 4 or 5 a.m., you know what I mean? Like over and over.
Right.
And you're like, man, I can't wait for the world
to
hear this.
Does it get played out to you? Like 5 months later, you're like, I love that song, but
because once my music's out, I never listen to it.
Okay.
Period. Like I'm listening to it, critiquing it, and like tweaking it, the mix and the production as I'm making it. But once it's out, that's it for me. But yeah, it's like, okay, it's March 1st, and the rest of the world doesn't get to hear it until December 4th. And that's like, it makes me so anxious, man. I'm like, yo, I want to give this to the world. I'm like, I'm sitting on this, and you know what I mean? Yeah, so it is that long last for me.
Did you got me make the album? Because it's been out for a while. Is that
yeah, that's on the album.
For sure.
Yep.
Any of the other records that you had released throughout the year, are they going to be on there? Nothing else.
Nothing else.
By the way, that achievement was it.
Thank you, man. Yeah. No, that was just a.
Do you feel like you're underrated as an MC? Because I feel like when I talk to like super hip hop heads or whatever, like we got this kid Adrian here who's like the biggest TD fan in the world. Like he's obsessed with TDE, like crazy. Like wants to get their logo tattooed. Like he's got some issues. But like we were in the car and I had your album in.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What's this?" I'm like, "G-Eazy." He's like, "Oh, I never listened to G-Eazy."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yo, fam, hold up."
I don't know, man.
Let me tell you something real quick.
It's I see it both ways, man. I see it one way. It's like I kind of live with this tunnel vision, man. It's like I don't pay attention to compliments. I don't pay attention to the salt. You know what I mean? Because if you got caught up in either side, it can distract you and it can kind of like, you know what I mean? So I just literally keep my tunnel vision on and I just go about my day, man. I just work day by day, step by step. You know what I mean? And I'm working for myself. I'm trying to be the best me I can be. I'm trying to like make the music I would want to listen to.
Matt told me about a line on the album where you had said something about like, obviously this is not at all going to be exact, but it was something to the effect of the illest white boy since Eminem.
Oh yeah.
With the bleached hair or something.
And then other times I just like to talk my shit. You know what I mean?
Which, I mean, listen, it is to be said that like since I just had this conversation, there's nobody that's come out since Eminem like Eminem or even has had any sort of, especially when it comes to Caucasian MCs.
Yeah.
You know, God bless everybody's had success. Macklemore, MGK, all these guys, they've had a lot of success. But like there's never been that superstar. Like Macklemore, I'm sorry, Macklemore is. I apologize. But I just feel like, you know, hey, T.I. used to call himself the king of the South.
Yeah, man. And that's the kind of thing you got to speak it into existence, man. Wayne said, I'm the greatest rapper alive. Muhammad Ali said, I'm the greatest. You know what I mean? And until you just project that into the universe and speak it into existence, then what? You know what I mean? So that's the thing. I mean, I've always wanted the world, man. I don't want like a little bit. I want it all.
No, it's crazy because we were talking and that's what you told. We were watching Big Sean perform in Phoenix and you were like, man, Kev, I want all of this.
Yeah. And that's the thing. If you don't have that hunger, that kill, that drive in you, then, you know, what's it, you know, I don't know.
Well,
I mean, that's me personally, man.
I agree.
And
what's the point? It's just like anybody who
I don't want to be a player. I want to be a star.
Yo, if you aren't rapping and you don't think you're the illest, then you should probably do something else.
Then what's the point? You know what I mean? And that's to say, it's like when you dream big, it's not the easiest thing to do because you gotta get used to failure because you're gonna fail over and over again when you play the game on the hardest level. You know what I mean? And it's like it just comes in. You know what I mean? Do you have quit in you or not? And I don't. Like we just keep going and going and going and. You know, again, I don't look down to see how far we've climbed the mountain. I don't look up to see how far the top of it is. I just keep going, man.
Talk about Kehlani because you brought her out on tour. Obviously, you did 2 tours in a row, which is kind of crazy. It was 2 and 40 on one, and then Kehlani on the other, and J-Ant. But Kehlani is really like, I feel like, man, it's gonna happen. For her
it's great to see
soon.
Great people win. You know, at the end of the day, like I saw Kehlani. Everybody back home was talking about her. I kept hearing the name Kehlani. This is about what would it be, like a year and a half ago, something like that. Maybe year and a half, 2 years ago, whatever. Everybody back home was talking about her, Kehlani. So I said, finally, I met her. We go to the studio. We kicked it, made something. And then I saw her perform.
And you were like, damn.
And I was like, yo, she's got it. Because the thing is, performing is just energy. You know, and energy is contagious, whether it's bad energy or good energy.
Isn't jumping around and acting crazy, but he's projecting that
energy. But it's energy, man, and it's all about that. And she just... she's just a beam of positive energy, man. And I was blown away by the performance. And I said, you know what I mean? We just kept building. We kept kicking it, kept talking or whatever, kept in touch. And I had remixed her record or whatever, jumped on it. And then I just texted. I was like, yo, like, you done a tour yet?
Like, come on.
I was like, would you come on the road? Yeah. And she was like, oh my God, like, are you serious? Don't play with me. Yes. Oh my God, let's do it. And we did it. And you know, it was just like, I'm all about like, I've learned a lot from other people. I've been around, I've soaked up game. I want to pass it on. So I was just like, you know what I mean? It's like the road is kind of crazy. And there's, you know, I mean.
Especially the road with you.
Yeah, but like, you know, there's a lot of like, there's a lot of work that goes into it. There's a lot of like, you know, just knowing the ins and outs of navigating the road. I mean, tour life is not for the faint of heart. This is
I know we're
crazy,
due for a tour soon, so hopefully, you'll be hitting the city hopefully soon.
Yeah. And the lineup shall be
something.
It'll be something
crazy.
Special.
Something real special.
Shout out. We don't play when it comes to this tour stuff, man. Play. I live for the roads.
Are you gonna do the barber thing again?
Why not?
Yeah, why not? It was kind of fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I need my haircut every couple of days. So.
Oh, why not, man? But the album's coming out December 4th. It's called When It's Dark Out.
When It's Dark Out. Available worldwide, universe-wide, galaxy-wide. You can go get it at your local Tower Records.
Tower Records is not existing.
You feel me?
He's lying. You're gonna have to buy it at Target, really, or Best Buy.
Man.
FYI, if there's a FYE around anymore.
Yeah, or go get it at Amoeba or Rasputin back home.
I miss that. Or I miss buying CDs, man. That's all I do.
I miss Tower Records, man.
Tower Records was
But they were tripping. It would be like $19.99 for a CD. I'm like, bruh,
crazy, but you know what I used to do?
11 songs on here, man.
Tower Records used to always have the porno mags in the magazine section, like up at the top.
Yeah.
Me and my boys would always be in Tower Records with like a Source mag and then like a Penthouse inside of it. Like, acting like creeps. Man, straight crazy. Creeps. But shout out to my dog G-Eazy. Right now, I'm going to have you get into this random record, which is insane. If you guys hear this record and you don't go buy his album, you're a communist. I would just like to point that out. Or a hater. Let's do this random.
Yeah.
G-Eazy,
yeah, let's do it. Random off my new album, When It's Dark Out, coming December 4th.
Let's go. It's Ready, Set, Radio.
You know what I mean?